Kyrie Irving has gone through more coaches in his career than any of the other top players in the league right now. On this graph, we have the number of seasons a player has been in the league on the bottom, and then on the left, we have the number of coaches they've had throughout their career. For instance, LeBron James has been in the league for 20 seasons, and he's had 9 different coaches throughout that span. As you can see, Kyrie Irving is at the top of the graph, meaning he's churned through more coaches in his 12-year career than any other player on here. Again, this is not every player in the league, just the top 60. The farther to the top left corner a player is, the higher their ratio of coaches per season. A ratio of 1-to-1 would mean that the player has on average had a new coach every season. Paolo Banchero, for instance, currently has a ratio of 1-to-1 because he's been in the league for 1 season and he's only had 1 coach. If he stays with Orlando and the Magic stick with Jamal Mosley as head coach, his ratio will go down over time. The only player on here with a ratio higher than 1 is Kristaps Porzingis. He's been in the league for 7 seasons, but he's already had 8 head coaches. The reasons for being in this zone are sometimes related, but sometimes just down to bad luck. They include organizational mismanagement, a prickly personality, and being traded often. But then on the flip side, you've got players closer to the bottom right, who have the lowest coach-to-season ratio. Players like Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, and Nikola Jokic, who have been in the league for a while, but have only had a few coaches. Reasons for being down here are pretty much the opposite of the previous: organizational stability, a level-headed personality, and not being traded. Again, these are partially down to luck, but are also interconnected to one another. Damian Lillard has been in the league for 11 seasons, but he's only had 2 coaches throughout that time, while Nikola Jokic has been in the league for 8 seasons and has only had 1 coach that whole time. Now, being on the bottom right doesn't necessarily guarantee you success, but there definitely seems to be a trend of most of the successful players being concentrated more heavily on the bottom. Teams who are successful tend to keep things consistent. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Or maybe they're successful because they're consistent. Perhaps that's a topic for a future video.